Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Third Age Total War. Massive Overhaul Submod. Anyway, guys, you may notice we're actually one turn ahead from when we last left off with the bitching about the damn Orcs of Gundabad still being alive and giving them a chance to, like, reclaim their lands and shit. I kind of started recording, blacked out, and completely forgot that I didn't have my audio on, so you wouldn't be able to hear my voice or anything. Instead of going all the way back and doing that turn all over again, I thought, just fuck it, we'll just go from here. The reason I did that is because I didn't want to jinx what happened. And don't ask me how it happened, because my spies I started to bring back so that I could keep an eye on the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. Suddenly it said that they were dead. And that the faction was destroyed. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm happy about. I'm just not exactly sure how it happened. But we won't guess it. And I wasn't going to go back and record it just in case it didn't happen again. But, you know, I'm going to give credit to the Free Peoples and say that they did it, because I don't know who else could have, or whether there is some kind of timed script into it where they have to take a settlement or be destroyed within a certain amount of days. Other than that, you didn't really miss much. I just pretty much started building some mines and stuff in certain towns and shit, and kind of planning where I'm going to go next. I came to the understanding that that I can't retrain stuff in this place over here just yet until I got a certain cultural requirement, which I need to build breweries and stuff for, because right now the thing is that followers of Sauron, and we need dwarves at least, when this is built, at least like 70-80%. Pretty much just loads of dwarf religion I need before we can actually recruit anything. So if we bring these spies over, I want to keep an eye on Gundabad and see what we're doing. But now I don't have to worry about those guys. I think I'm just going to bug out.
My king. Aye, sire. Move out. Order, my lord. Aye, lord. Aye. Aye, lord. Aye. Onward.
Although, that fucking depends on how many units I have to leave in Cardum for it not to piss off.
My king.
If I just leave foreign here, then can I leave some troops with the army still? Hey, that's enough. If I just leave the prince there and take Gundabad back with this, because I can't retrain anything there, not until I got a certain amount of things. So we're just going to focus on building an army over at the Lonely Mountain and bringing it over as soon as we can, which I've already started to do. So we're bringing those guys over. I've put some forces in here so that we can do with that. May as well get rid of Dale Cavalry. Yeah, we need to bring some forces over here and get Gundabad back and reinforce that. That's the idea anyway. Yeah, next turn. If we leave foreign over in Cardum, that means if the king does die and his army fails, then we won't automatically lose because he'll still be alive. If you don't want to put all of your chickens in one basket, kind of thing, or your eggs in one basket, I think is the term. I don't know. We know go die. But anyway, I'm not quite sure how they died, but I'm happy about it. I'm not complaining. It's a good thing. I don't have to worry about them attacking me. They must have gone into their to attack the Free People's settlements, and they must have come over and killed them or something. Which is a shame. Part of me was hoping to fight them and kick their ass, kind of thing, but another part of me really wanted them dead. Well, actually, all of me wanted them dead. I'm not going to question how it happened. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to assume that the Free Peoples killed them, and that they're no longer of any threat to me. I can now do what I was going to do in the first place and focus on the Misty Mountains. At least I now know that I'll have to deal with the Misty Mountain Orcs after they're dead and wipe them out completely if I want to destroy them. At least I think that's what happened with the Free Peoples. They must have killed the army or killed the generals and then they died. And then got wiped out completely. Because I assume they can't recruit or build or anything until they've taken a town or whatever. But the good thing is, when we deal with the Orcs of the Misty Mountains, once they're dead, I don't have to quickly rush to fight another enemy on a different front. I can just solely focus on them, just completely focus on them rather than jumping around the place, focusing on a bunch of different people. But yeah, I completely forgot that the audio wasn't even on, so I think I'm going to call it a night after this one. Just a tad bit too sleepy, I think.
Honor, my lord. We march to glory. Set a watch. We camp here.
We get Gundabad back. That connects our borders again. If we group all those guys and bring them over, I'll do it in the next turn. We'll bring those forces over that we can. But at least now I don't have to worry about these guys. Those guys attacking me, so I'm not going to question it. It's just a gift from the gods. For once, something goes my way. Just once. That's like probably the luck for the next 20 parts to this playthrough. And that's the thing with the Third Age, it's a hell of a lot longer than Westeros, so it's going to last a lot longer as well. I'm eventually going to do every single faction if I can. Starting with the good factions first, then going on. But that's the plan anyway. Let's focus on this first. I won't do any new factions until I complete the Dwarves. So by complete the Dwarves, I mean I've like wiped out the evil factions and peace reigns over everybody. The way we do that is deal with the Orcs in the Misty Mountains, wipe them out completely and hunt down the remnants of them, so that there's no threat to my borders. I need to beat them back first and hope that we can win. Now, if I can get a full army of guys over to the king, swap the armies around and send the broken and battered army from the mountains that the king currently commands back over to the Lonely Mountain and retrain them from there, then that's a good way to do it, I guess. Swap the armies around so that they have a decent amount of forces there. I'm going to keep this place. Arthurlin, whatever, that town that I took right there now. I'm going to keep that just for the money and the income. So I'm still getting $3,000 every fucking turn, which is still quite a lot of money.
My king. Aye, sire. Aye. Forward.
Okay, how many spots have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Aye, lord. My king. Aye. March. My king.
Don't really care about ballistas.
Aye, lord.
Still got 3 spots left. Okay, what do we build next? I guess in anticipation for the other army coming, we build another royal barracks and yeah, we got 3 spots left. So what can we build to fill up that gap? Now this army is the one that I'm going to swap with the kings from over here. Yeah, I don't think so, buddy. You ain't fucking happening. I still have to worry about Coldfells down here. They still control that. Okay, let's build a brewery and get our culture up so that we can actually retrain and build stuff from there. Once we can build shit from this place, then we have a giant base of operations to attack the Orcs in the Misty Mountains that isn't all of this way away from... Because right now, my main base of operations is Lonely Mountain, which I need to recruit, and then it takes like 6 or 8 turns just to get over to the Misty Mountains. But if I could recruit from here, it's just a short walk from there, from the front lines. Not to mention a short fall back to retrain the men as well. Yeah, let's make sure we are recruiting everything. We want the royal barracks in there, obviously. Let's build just a large pig farm, I guess, with the cash that I have. What can I build over here? Let's build that. Keep these spies coming, and I want my eyes kept on over here. The spies are actually really quite fucking useful, so I can keep an eye on what the hell's going on. Okay, next turn. Now, there might not be much combat in this part. It's mainly about planning and holding in there until I can rebuild my men. If I can bring that army over from the Lonely Mountains, which is my main goal at the moment, which is still going to take a while, which is why I really want to be able to recruit from here and make this my new frontline base of operations kind of thing. My forward base camp, if you will. Rather than having to retrain all the way over the other side of the fucking cliffs. And it's pretty much all the way over the other side of the bloody map. Okay, good thing is we got plenty of money and cash and income stuff, so we should be able to build decent armies and rally them. Hopefully, anyway. I'm hoping that 3 peoples go out and help Rohan out a little bit, and now that they haven't got anyone else to attack. Well, they had the Orcs of the Misty Mountains to attack. I think they do share borders with them now that they've been pushing forward a bit.
Honor, leading the men with honor, sire. Victory by your will, sire. A proud victory by your side. We march to battle. We shall hold them to siege, sire.
Easily taken.
Honor, sire. Honor, my lord.
And if I can move the king down here and take that as well. I'm going to be able to spy and send him forward to scout the area as well.
My king. Move out. Aye, Lord.
Yeah, we need 3 more spots, which will be filled by my guys when they eventually get built. In 2 turns. Yeah, so 3 turns and then we can move out with my army. As we're waiting for them, we may as well build 2 units in there.
My king, leading the men with honor, sire. Aye, sire. We hold them at sea.
Okay, there's not much else we can do. Next turn. So it's kind of like, on the bright side, we only have 1 enemy to contend with. On the downside, that enemy is probably better prepared, considering they haven't had to fight many people in quite a while. And probably vastly outnumbers me, since most of my forces are completely battered and beaten, bloodied, fighting the other orcs that I only just defeated. But with any luck, the army from the Lonely Mountain, and then eventually I'll be able to recruit and retrain right next to the Misty Mountains as well. So we shouldn't have to worry about it too much longer, but it's still a pain in the ass. The Misty Mountains orcs are apparently like the hardest faction to play as, which I can see, because you have enemies on every single side. You're in the middle of the frying pan kind of thing. You're just getting attacked from every direction. I'd imagine it's quite a pain in the ass. I mean, I don't like fighting 2 enemies on 2 fronts. I don't know what, it's kind of hard as it is with just fighting 2 wars at the same time. But when it's like 5 wars at the same time, yeesh. I could do it, but it would just be defense, 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 defense. There'd be no assaulting whatsoever. I'd just stick on defense constantly. It'd be really boring to watch.
We march to battle. Victory.
Nice and easy. Take that. Rewarded with some units at my thing.
My king. My king. I noble son. In your name, son.
If I go down here and take this.
My king. Leading the men with honor, sire.
That's what we really need now, though. Culture. So that I can retrain stuff. So we'll focus on building that.
At your service. Moving quietly.
I just know there's going to be a giant army of orcs somewhere down there.
Yes, my king. On my way. Continuing to more.
So they have quite a large army there. If they decide to attack, I'm fucked.
Honor, noble. Aye, Lord. Move out. Aye. Joining our forces. Aye. March.
Okay, 1 more turn, and then we can move the army to where we want to be. Build that. There's nothing I can do up there. It just hates me. Anything I can build over here? Market's almost done. Nothing I can build there. Okay, next turn, I guess. There's not really much else that I can do. I do try to get combat in every single video, but, well, if I can't, then I can't. But yeah, the Free Peoples do share borders with the Orcs, so assuming that they're at war with them, which I think they are, pretty damn sure they are, they should be fighting them, preferably. I mean, you know, I'd rather have them fighting them than not fighting them and just solely focusing on me. Sorry, it's like 5:30 in the morning when I'm recording this, so... I had coffee like 3 hours ago, so it's starting to wear off. I need more. More, damn it. My clock's completely off, so it's just kind of pulling a 24-hour staying up period with shitloads of coffee so that I can just go to sleep around 10 tonight and then just wake up at normal time again. That's the plan anyway. It works 80% of the time. 20% of the time I usually just fall asleep though. That's usually when I think to myself, I'm going to go watch TV. I lay on my bed and watch TV for a bit, and then I fall asleep. Which I shall not do now. I shall remain at this desk all fucking day if I have to, and take the dog for a walk and stuff. I'm just going to give... There you go. You can have a wife, Gimli.
My king, we march to glory. By your will, sire, we shall engage. Aye, sire. Laying siege at once. Should we move to the wall, sire? My king. Aye, sire. My king. Aye. Aye, lord. Move out. We march no. Aye. My king. Aye. Aye, sire. Aye, lord. Onward. That'll do him today, sire.
I send them over there, you can join up with the king. Hey look, I found a chieftain. If we just stick that on minimize for everything. Thank God, that's my ally.
Something to investigate. They shall not see me, sire. At your service. Something to investigate. Moving quietly. They shall not see me, sire.
Great, they control more land down here somewhere.
At your service.
Which I think is like way down there and not really my concern. So if I pull this spy back up here, keep one outside Coalfells, move this one right around here, then keep an eye on the mountain passes. And move these guys over here and help the king.
My king. My king. Aye.
Next turn, they'll join up with that force there. So let's go next turn. There's not much I can do, really. I've taken back the place, but unfortunately, well, if they try to decide to attack, I'm fucked. Sort of a to and fro kind of situation right now. Once my army gets over there, I should be able to fuck them up. That's the plan, people. Fuck them in the a-hole. If orcs have a-holes, I have no idea. In fact, I don't want to know, to be perfectly honest. I do not want to know. Yeah, if all goes to plan, I move my army over from the Lonely Mountain over to the King, and we march on the Misty Mountains and kick some ass. That is the plan. But the plan never work because the plan shit. Yeah, I'm suffering from like sleep withdrawal. Commence the gibberish. If you hear a loud thud and this video is like a couple of hours long, then chances are I fell asleep. Here we go.
Aye, sire. I'll march. Merging army, my king. Aye. Forward, aye, sire. Move out. Aye, Lord. Aye, sire. March! We've marched our limit. Aye, my liege. Leading the men with honor, sire.
May as well quickly kill that guy.
Glory and honor. The flash and glory. Aye.
Now I just have to worry about those guys from Coldfell attacking my ass. Slowly getting there for more culture, and then we can start retraining. Now the only problem is, once again, we have to move my troops all the way around here to go all the way up here before the Orcs of the Misty Mountains eat my ass. If I keep him here, I'll see any advancing armies. Or I should. Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. Okay, probably not.
Aye, noble son. Honor, my lord. Aye, noble son. Setting a vigilant watch here.
There you go. You construct a watchtower, and then I have a little bit of an overview of what the hell's going on.
My king. Honor, my lord. Aye, sire. We march no further today.
Okay, well, we can't do anything but go to the next turn, really, so just making sure that everything... Why is that in the red for some reason? Okay, yep, pretty much just end turn, I guess. There's not much we can do until the armies are in position. half of me kind of wanted to like just skip this, not record it, and then be a couple of turns ahead. Kind of like I do with Westeros every now and again, but I'd rather just upload it and let you guys watch, just so you don't miss anything. Not much usually happens in videos where I'm mainly recruiting and placing units and stuff, but some people, some of my subscribers and you guys still like to watch that kind of stuff. So, who am I to judge? Whatever. I don't mind. Less work for me. It's not work. I enjoy it, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Anyone else notice whether or not we're going up or down in cash right now? Now that my army's out of the free garrisoned upkeep. We should be fine, I think. We should be at least able to field 2 full stacks of infantry by now. Yeah. We're almost at the culture percentage that we need for the citadel there. And once we've got that, we can recruit and train stuff from that place. And things will be a hell of a lot easier and smoother once we can do that. Yeah, I know he's dead. I killed him.
Aye. Move out. My king.
It was still going up by like 2,000 every turn, so there's no big deal there.
Aye. For my king. Aye, sire. Aye, lord.
We'll just leave those guys in the capital, then we can move them up when they're ready. When they are fully trained. So we'll swap this army with the king's army. Won't even get there anyway. Okay, so we got 14% dwarves right now. That will up it in a minute, but we need... So you see that miners, warriors, blah 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 blah. Even with warriors, we just need 33% for that, but around like 75%, and then we can retrain everything, pretty much. We don't need that much to recruit and train the basics, but if you want to retrain the Dragon Knights and everybody else, then we're going to need more. Let's got one, and then we may as well, I don't know, is there any point in building into that place? Not really. Can I build a Gundabad? Already building mines, and this place is already building roads, and Dain Saul's already building that. Can't build anything in Roman Grove. That's already recruiting the Royal Barracks. May as well recruit the pig factory, I guess.
Aye, king. At your service.
Okay, let's bring the spy over so we can keep an eye on the mountains and see what the current situation is. If they're weak and there isn't much of a defensive position in the mountains, then we'll move in it. But that's their capital, and from what I can tell, it's relatively well garrisoned. Once the king's army gets here from the Lonely Mountain, we should be able to deal with them. Hypothetically. Anyway. With any dwarven luck. We'll scare them with our women. Yeah. Can't help yawning. Too late. Must never record at this time of night again. Time of night? Time of morning, I guess, because it is the morning, technically. In a couple of hours, I'll go get fucking breakfast. Puppies should open their eyes quite soon, by the way. For anyone that's wondering, when I'm recording this, which shouldn't actually be that long, considering I upload this every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sundays. Now I upload third age stuff. I think that was the arrangement that we've come to. Wednesday, Saturday, and Sundays is third age, and the rest of the days is just Westeros stuff. See, I might swap around. I mean, my channel is always going to be focused on, like, Westeros footage, because it is the unofficial hub of Westeros footage. As, like, one of the main things that I can say about my channel, it is the biggest supplier for Westeros Total War stuff. You type in Westeros Total War and, like, 90% of the videos is mine. I mean, typing Westeros Total War on Google on my videos are on the front page. You ought to take pride in the little things.
Aye, Lord. Move out. That'll do him today, sire. Something to investigate. They shall not see me, sire. Continuing tomorrow, sire. Yes.
And there has to be, like, a... somewhere around here. I don't know, I think this one place here might be controlling all of this mountain. Not mentioning Coldfellows.
Something to investigate. Moving quietly. Yes, my king. They shall not see me, sire. Something to...
We don't really need to see that side of Coldfellows, just where they're heading.
I am but an ally.
I'm hoping the Free Peoples will just deal with them, but... I've never been that lucky. Okay, mines, large pig farm, blah blah blah. Let's build mines. We are on 17%, almost getting there. See, when the army from the Lonely Mountain gets here, we'll swap most, if not all, of these guys and then send them back to the mountain to be retrained. And then we'll move on the Misty Mountains with my full garrisoned army. That's the plan, anyway. Hopefully, we won't get attacked before that happens. In other words, we'll probably get attacked before that happens. Like I said, the ideal thing would have to be a forward operations base by that citadel that I've taken from the Orcs of Gundabad, or whatever the hell they were called, before I destroyed them. Well, Before I assume the three peoples of Thingamajig wiped out the rest of them, but I played an instrumental role in their destruction. If not for me, they'd still be crawling around the place. And if not for the three peoples, I'd probably be screwed by now. Because they'd be crawling around the place. What do you want, civilian elves? Sylvan elves. I don't know why I call them civilian elves. They're civilians. This thing with total third aid is a lot slower pace than Westeros, being so large in comparison. Not to mention the turn times being a lot longer due to all the factions and settlements that there are compared to third age. They aren't too long because I just sit here talking, but it does give you time to think about what you're doing as well. Who?
My king. Onward. We've marched our limit. Aye, Lord. Aye, sire. My king. Aye.
What's the king armies made up of? Yeah, they won't be able to recruit that. So if we just leave them and don't recruit anything just yet, just leave it for now.
Aye, Lord.
We don't want to go into debt. That's the main thing. We do not want that yet. We don't want to go into debt. We don't want that yet. So that's another thing, they border on the side of the elves as well, so Kofels is kind of surrounded. Yeah, build a town watch to keep those people from bitching too much. I want to keep enough money just so that we're in the green and don't have to worry too much about everything. You know, we don't want to go into debt because we're going to need to retrain these men soon. Okay, anyway guys, it's been 40 minutes and quite over 40 minutes actually, at least 44 or 45 depending on, well, when I edit it and everything, and when I shut the fuck up it will be about that time. Annotation top right hand side as always. When we come back, the army will join up with the king and we'll move on the Misty Mountains. Sorry about the lack of combat in this one, guys, but it does happen. I can't help having to retrain and place my men and get ready. And if I ran in with this amount of guys, I'd just get my ass kicked. And all hell would break loose. One wrong move in this kind of situation and I'll be so weakened that the Orcs could just push on through and destroy me, so we won't do that. Yeah. When we come back, we'll move on the Misty Mountains and hopefully push back the Orcs to the point where we no longer have to worry about them. I wouldn't hold your breath, though. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 turns before we get to that situation. Anyway, guys, that's all for now. Annotation, top right-hand side. I will see you there. Soul out.